Have you ever been denied a purchase? Are you looking to purchase a home or a car? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I can assist. My name is Shanada Harris. I am a financial specialist offering solutions to your financial matters. We have an aggressive program that gets you results within 45 to 90 days. Contact me, Shanada Harris, at 734-752-8818 for your free consultation. And welcome back to Let's Fix It with Shanada. Let's sit back and take some copious notes as we provide you with some awesome solutions to your financial matters. Invite your friends and family to join us. And if you're watching us live on Facebook, like, tag, share. Sharing is caring. I am Shanada Harris, your financial specialist. I am so super excited to be with you guys today. It is an incredible Wednesday. So welcome back. We are in the last of our series today of Make It Make Sense in March. So today's series, to end the series, we're going to focus on the women because this is Women's History Month, right? So I want to give my girls a little something special. So I'm just going to hop right into it. I really don't even have any current events. That's how excited I am. I just want to give y'all all the good, right? So let's get it started and start off with a quote. We want to talk about that Proverb 31 woman. Lord, I commit to live my life with you at the center always. Help me to be the person you want me to be. Thank you that we have our work to guide us in how to live our lives. And, once again, you can go to Proverbs 31 and read the full message. I am super excited about the information that I'm going to share today. We're going to be talking about women and their finances, right? So we have gone through talking about life insurance. We've talked about service, community service. We've talked about credit repair, and we've talked about other things in finance as well. So now we just want to focus on women and their finances because women in the household tend to make up that they're basically a lot of the decision makers when it comes to the finances. So I'm going to go through this. So let's hop right in. No one cares about their financial well-being more than you. So it's important to have a financial plan for yourself. Having a solid financial plan will allow you to save money and afford things that you really want and achieve long-term goals like saving for college and retirement. This probably won't come to you as a surprise, but many people have a financial plan that looks different. So if you're wondering how to create a financial plan or why you should create one, we have some answers for you. We want to be able to put you in a financial stability mode where you can actually build wealth as well. So deciding to embark on the journey toward financial independence is a big deal. It marks a fresh beginning with money and means that you're setting out to accomplish something that you can change your life for the better. So I'm excited to share some of the things that we have today. So create a list of things you want to plan for. So this is a part of some of that goal setting that we talked about during the beginning of the year, actually, on working on what we needed to work on and be precise about those things. So you want to determine the type of financial plan you might need and how to create a financial plan. Then we want to create a list of things to plan for, such as a monthly budget, a debt payoff, an emergency account, retirement savings, a diversified portfolio for investments, multiple streams of income, And saving for other things you want, short term, mid term, long term. That's the benchmarking that we talked about. And insurance coverage, such as life, health, disability, and home insurance. And once again, we do have Florio to talk that if you need to get into the life insurance portion, would be able to give you an honest consultation on some products to get you the life insurance that you might need to suit your budget. Determine the type of financial plan. Don't think that it's early or it's too late to have one. That's quite the contrary. Now is the perfect time to plan. So you want to plan for yourself. If you're single, it's important to establish a financial plan that only helps you meet your immediate goals, but that ensures your future self so you can be taken care of. This means doing all the things mentioned above without making any assumptions that things will somehow work themselves out. A big mistake is assuming you will meet someone who will take care of you and deal with the finances in the relationship. So for those women that are thinking, oh, I'm going to find Prince Charming and I'm going to marry a rich man and he's going to come, like you've got this cookie cutter person that you think that's going to take care of you, some of you might need to guess again, because sometimes it doesn't happen in those terms. If your relationship status changes and you get married, then you'll be well equipped to plan your finances together if you already have things already in place for yourself. So it's easier to blend than it is to look for that someone who is going to take care of you. A plan for your marriage. If you are married or have a significant other, then you need to participate in your finances as a team. That is teamwork. Those are things that couples should discuss. That is one of probably the number one things that people tend to break up over is their finances, right? Because we're not having these adult conversations about who's managing the money, where the money's going, and just conversations in general in reference to money. Should you have joint accounts or not? Having joint accounts is great, but also believe in having your own. And I'm a firm believer that no matter whether you're married or not, you should always have your own. A woman, it's important to build your own sense of security and to have your own that we bring to the table. But don't feel like you need to keep your own personal accounts secret. Remember, marriage and committed relationships thrive on openness and honesty. So it's okay to have your own, and it's okay that he knows that you have your own, because 9 times out of 10, he has his own somewhere too. Okay? Regardless of whether you team up or partner or go it alone, the path of financial independence is not always smooth, in which it isn't. It's not a perfectly paved one, but don't despair. It's time to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. That's right. It's time to learn how to create a solid financial plan. And how to create this financial plan. You'll find 10 steps that we're going to discuss to create a solid financial plan. First, you want to write your financial goals down. Having financial goals is the foundation for your financial success. After all, you have to know what you want to accomplish in order for you to actually accomplish it. So you got to have this roadmap. However, when it comes to setting goals, you want to make sure your goals are well defined and prioritized accordingly. It's great to have a big, lofty goal, but be sure to break it down into smaller chunks so you can benchmark yourself, right? So that way you're not overwhelmed to accomplish them, and they're easier to achieve because the goals are smaller, right? Start an emergency fund. And that's one thing in this particular season that we're in now that many of us did not do is have an emergency fund, a just in case fund, just in case some stuff happens. Here we go. Um, it's good to figure out an alternative plan because you just never know what could potentially happen. Pay off debt, or in a lot of cases that I tend to teach, is pay down your debt. And you want to keep that under 30%, especially if it's reporting to the credit bureaus, right? Sadly, you can really kickstart your financial future if you're carrying a ton of debt. It's hard. You're in between high interest rates and large monthly payments. And those things can be really damaging to your credit score if you're not careful. So you have to learn about the types of debts that you have and prioritize them in terms of how you're going to pay them down. So you want to create a strategy. And if you're on our plan, we already have what we call a debt payoff system, right? That is incorporated in the credit repair plan to help you with that. Create a plan to invest. So those of you that don't have investments, now is the time to really get serious with building your wealth. Then you're going to need to put your money aside to make it work for you. This is where investing comes in. However, before you put in your hard-earned money into investments, it's important to have some objectives as to what you plan on doing with the money and how long you plan on taking for this money to grow. So long-term activity versus short-term, you need to understand that. You also want to make sure you have a basic understanding at what the minimum of any investment you put your money into, like the stock market, real estate, or a small business. Your plans to invest should be included as a part of your monthly budget, where you allocate a certain percentage of your income toward your investment. Get the right insurance. After working so hard to earn your money, the last thing you want to do is have unplanned occurrences to wipe you out. So insurance is essential as a backup plan because, all right, let's just say, for instance, auto insurance. Auto insurance can be very expensive depending on what state you live in. I know here in the state of Michigan, we're probably one of the few states that have the more higher rates for insurance. So if you went out there and was uninsured and got into a car accident, you're liable for that car. And then all of a sudden, you've got this car payment that you're paying for, and then you got to go get another car to replace the car that you didn't have insurance for in the first place. And the best thing to do is insurance, I've always said, is a just in case things happen. Your insurance coverage should include your health, auto, disability, and life insurance, as well as if you are have a home, you want homeowners insurance or rental insurance to insure your property, as well as business insurance. Basically, you want to protect any and all major high value things to make sure that it's protected financially. Because the last thing you need is a disaster to create an inconvenience. Plan for retirement. In order to have the lifestyle or dream investment of a retirement, you'll need to plan, adequately. You'll need to determine how much you're going to need to retire. Of course, taking inflation into consideration, you want to plan to save to invest in advance for that period of your life. While retirement might seem like a lifetime away, It's never too early to start planning for your retirement. And then plan your taxes. Sometimes we don't look at potentially having to pay taxes when it comes down to the tax season. But you want to be able to project your taxes long term, because the last thing that you want when you get ready to file your taxes is to be hit with an astronomical tax bill because you didn't plan adequately and you have to pay Uncle Sam. So they're the type that you're going to pay willingly or unwillingly. They're going to get their cash. Create an estate plan. Estate planning is not something a lot of people tend to think about, but is so essential. It allows you to determine what happens to your assets after you're gone. So I've always talked about a will, trust, power of attorney. Those types of services come with our protection plan, but are also essential in just life. You have to plan so in the event something does happen to you, number one, you've got somebody who's able to act on your behalf in the event you become incapacitated or that you die suddenly. In the event that you don't have certain measures in proper place of a will, trust, or a power of attorney, you're stating that your loved ones are going to basically have to go to probate and fight it out. But in the event of doing that, you're giving control of the state in which you live in under the probate terms an opportunity to handle your estate and handle your affairs and then take a portion of your estate money away from your family. Perfect example, Aretha Franklin. When she passed away, she was worth millions of dollars. Unfortunately, there was never a legal will, trust, or power of attorney documentation in place. There was a handwritten will that she had started, however, it was never completed. So with that being said, her family wound up in probate court here in the state of Michigan, and over $16.1 million of her estate went to the state of Michigan as a part of the probate fees. So that's essentially insane to me. If I'm worth millions of dollars, I want to make sure that I have each and every penny allocated to whomever I choose to leave it to, not to be determined by the state in which I reside in their probate court to determine that for me and to take a part of the proceeds of my estate. I don't want the state to profit from my earnings. I don't think that's cool. Review your plan frequently. So when life changes, like say for instance, the beneficiary passes away, you have to make sure that you're updating your documents and that your documents are current so that everything stays up to date. So in the event any changes, even in your status, whether you have a kid, you add a husband, you take away a husband, a child is no longer a child in existence. Different elements of life happen, right? So you have to stay on top of those. At minimum, you want to check in your overall financial plan at least every 6 months is your guide. When you check infrequently, it's easy for you to deal with unplanned life occurrences, bounce back from setbacks, and accomplish your financial goals. Think about what to do to maintain your personal health. You brush your teeth, you shower regularly, and you keep yourself clean to avoid unnecessary illnesses because all you know that falling sick can lead to other health complications, and definitely you don't want that. Also, because you do it so often, now it's a part of your everyday health maintenance habits. That's why I tell people, getting your teeth clean is very important because having bad teeth can lead to bad heart issues. So one thing can trigger off another, by just neglecting one thing and not paying attention to something else. And a lot of people tend not to think about it in those terms. But just the same as you go to get your physicals up to date, and then when you reach certain ages, you got to make sure that you're getting properly tested. Ladies, your mammograms are key. When you're 50, you want to get that mammogram, you want to get that colonoscopy, you want to have your regular gynecology visits to make sure everything is working properly. So in the event something is happening, you can do early detection where you can catch some of these health issues so you can last longer. Your health wise, the longevity of your life is longer, right? Stay the course and avoid overspending and learn from your mistakes. Your journey to financial independence won't always be easy. And trust me when I tell you that. Each and every day of life is not a cakewalk. It's never designed to be that. You're going to have its peaks and its valleys. It's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. Pursuing a goal of financial independence, that's very much tied to the delay of gratification. And it's not always fun, but completely it's doable. Have a solid plan with your finances. Be disciplined and avoid overspending. You might find out how great you feel when you really make a concentrated effort on sticking to your budget. So learning and determining a need from a want will help you with that. As you work on your finances, you may still make mistakes with your money. We always do. And it's okay, but it's how we bounce back from that. Sometimes you might be unable to resist the urge to buy something that isn't like in your immediate budget. And sometimes you'll feel like ripping your entire financial plans to bits and pieces because it just doesn't seem like it's fun anymore and it just doesn't make sense. But you got to stay the course, and then you've got to discipline your mind. And I'm not saying don't take care of yourself, because self-care is also a part of this. Taking care of you, making sure you have some time to yourself. And the things that we do as women, one thing that we like to do, we like to look good. So that makes us feel good. Having our hair done, having our nails done, being pampered, that self-care moment. It's important to have those moments and to have that time, because sometimes we need a time out from everything to be able to disconnect. And then as you reconnect to the world, you got to reconnect back to your plan. So you can't deviate from it and then just stay away from it. If you take a break, a quick intermission, you want to come back and pick up the pieces and keep it rolling, because it's just so vastly important that you stay on track, right? But these are some key elements, and this information that I just shared with you is from Clever Girl Finance, who is, the author is Bola Sukumbi, and I hope I'm saying her name right. I'm going to spell her last name for those of you that might even want to pick up her book and study what I'm talking about a little bit closer. But her first name is spelled Bola. Her last name is Sukumbi, Sukumbi, and she is the founder of Clever Girl Finance, and she's passionate about helping women take control of their money so they can live life on their own terms. And that's something that a lot of us tend not to realize, that you can live your life on your own terms. Granted, we all are not striving to be like Oprah and have multi streams of income like Oprah has. But what you will find, like in Oprah's case, in order for her to have become the successful person that she is taking time from being a talk show host to owning her own network, her magazine, and just her branding in general. You know, And I'm certain she has other investments and other things and projects that she has worked on throughout that time, being an actress, being a part of movies. Those things played an intricate part to her success. But the example that I need you to take from this is that she never stopped. She never gave up. She just kept moving. She just kept building. She never put her career on hold. She just shifted directions when things didn't shift the way she needed them. When she figured that, okay, the talk show hosting thing had reached its peak. Okay, now let me go build my own network. And from that, her worth just kept on increasing and increasing because she just kept adding value to what she already had. As well as there may have been a couple of other streams of income that were in there with the magazine and other things that she does because she's Oprah Winfrey. But the point that I'm trying to get you to see is that she just never stopped. She never gave up. And the same thing is applicable to us in our everyday walks of life, is that you just can't give up. You got to be resourceful. You've got to think outside the box. If you are a business owner, you've got to be able to build that business and be able to make that business grow and build your brand so your name is out there. And it's very, very important that you do that, because that is how you become popular. You have a product, you want to get it out on the market. You want to talk about it. You want people to see it. You want other people to experience it. You want to build that brand, which is building you. So it is my esteemed pleasure to have presented to you this entire month of March, this awesome series called Make It Make Sense. And as we begin to segue into the end, with it being appropriate, the day being the last day of March, my quote is, M for make it happen. A, ask for what you want. R, remember how awesome you are. C, continue your path, no matter what. H, hear from God and be obedient. With that, I bid you until next week. You all have an awesome week, and we will see you next time. Have you ever been denied a purchase? Are you looking to purchase a home or a car? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I can assist. My name is Shanada Harris. I am a financial specialist, offering solutions to your financial matters. We have an aggressive program that gets you results within 45 to 90 days. Contact me, Shanada Harris, at 734-752-8818